I mean, what about your other career? Well, I know. I mean, it's so far away. It's so far away. Yeah. I talked to Nadine this morning. She said, I'm not surprised that it's but she has a big family. And she said it's a big family. They stay in a condo and they eat it. And they stay in a condo. And there's advantages to and so we're just trying to figure out in between the three of us, we might do something talking to people. I've got a friend who said and we don't know how they do it. And then I'm talking to another friend. She said, if you're interested in buying stuff, like diamonds, or buying anything, then you go and they want to sell everything. And she said, if buying is a big thing, you might think about something. But it's not big. And it may be for somebody to get the price. Your mother. She doesn't need to. Well, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And so, and I was reading this. Okay, yeah. Absolutely. And I never well, I was really interested in cluttering. Yeah, but I think I did. It's following through. I got lots of work to do. Yeah. Well, so somebody's getting it. Maybe they're ones that registered their podcast. That's yeah.
Do you see where to turn that on? I'm not sure which button that is. That's one of these two. It says mute select.
Wait, there's no. It says mute, but it is.
Test. All right.
Good morning. Welcome to the Empowered Senior Seminar Series. It is so great to see a great, wonderful group of people together. And I'm so glad you're here. And for those of you that are watching on Zoom or will see this later, thank you so much for joining us. What we're all about is, our mission is to equip, educate, and empower seniors. I get asked all the time, who's a senior? I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm just glad you're here. And I think what we cover is good for people that are in their 40s and 50s on up. You know, there's even a lot of millennials that are caregivers for great grandparents and great aunts. And we just cover some really awesome things. So to start off today, I want to tell you a couple little things. As a little girl, I loved to swim. And I would just splash around and swim. And I would feel sorry for some of the grown-ups that would not put their bathing suits on and swim. And so I told myself as a little girl, that's not going to be me. No matter what happens, no matter how fat I get, no matter what I look like, I'm going to put my swimming suit on and I am going to swim. So fast forward, and I was a gymnast and a dancer as a little girl. Fast forward many, many years, my husband and I have sold real estate here in Wichita for a long time. We're realtors. So why are realtors putting on a program like this? Because we work with so many people and we realize the impact that aging has and the ability to stay in your home as long as possible and live the kind of life you want. And it has an impact when it comes time to move, and it's very complex. And so we want to help address those things in our community and in the country and beyond. Well, back in the early 2000s, we were selling about 140 houses a year. I didn't exercise at all. And I did get fat. And I learned a few coping techniques. And if you think about it, maybe you have some coping techniques for different things. But I had one coping technique that was very important was when I would go into a home, I would go up to the second floor first, never to the basement first. Because if you go to the basement first, then you have to go up the stairs to the main floor. And if it's two-story, you have to go up to the second floor. And I really did not want to have a heart attack in front of my clients or be going, So I did learn that. And in 2003, I had a really bad car accident. I spent a long time in a wheelchair. And I was very depressed about that too. It's really hard, I think, when you have a very serious illness or serious injury. I think that the mental part of it is so challenging. It's very depressing. And I thought, when I get better, I am going to start walking the neighborhood and start appreciating the fact that I can walk. Well, instead of doing that, truth be told, I started a real estate company. I thought that it was my mission to start Keller Williams Realty, so I started the West office and then I started the East office. And it wasn't until about 2008 when the market crashed and my world crashed that I decided to start swimming at the Y. And I signed up for a triathlon. And I went to cycle class and I looked around and I thought, what am I doing in here? It felt like showing up to biology class in college. I thought, what am I doing in here? That's what I felt like with cycle. Turned out cycle ended up being my favorite things even above swimming. And fast forward to today, with Dr. Adrienne Tartler, a few years ago, I got my 200-hour yoga certification, teacher training. I'm gonna take this glove off, it's too hot. So you guys that use the mic later, you can wear your gloves. And today I'm boxing with Nicole back here and Rebel Boxing. And I told my mother that I was boxing, and she just kind of made a real loud snort into the phone. Because we have MMA fighters in our family, and so to her, boxing is like blood and getting hit which that's not at all what it is, and it's so empowering. And so today, our topic is aging gracefully in uncertain times. What a weird year. A year ago, we were having huge seminars here, last one in March, and then everything changed. We did our best. We did 3, like, I think we did those 3, and then we did 2 in September and October, and so we only did 5 last year. We're committed. We've booked to do the rest of the year. Thank you for helping us launch. I feel like this is a relaunch too, with the excitement that our fitness trainers are bringing. So one of the things that I learned when I went back to the Y and cycle, one of my mentors there, she said, motion is lotion. And that made a lot of sense to me, that if you move, you're lubricating all your joints, you're making yourself feel better. And so even though when I was a little girl, I thought, well, if I get fat, I'm still gonna wear a swimming suit. What I didn't realize was how I would feel being fat and out of shape, or even just feel aging. So if you think about when you get out off the sofa or you get out of bed and you're so stiff and painful sometimes, you remember years ago, your youthful body and how different it feels. But I do believe that we can reverse a lot of this. And so we brought the experts in to tell us how. So, and first of all, we're going to have Dawn Biggers with the Kansas Honor Flight come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would stand, please.
Good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Kansas Honor Flight is incredible. So during this past year of COVID, my husband Randy lost his dad, Don, at the age of 91. It wasn't COVID related, but we didn't get to be with him in the hospital. Very sad. But going on Kansas Honor Flight a couple years ago, that was just amazing. So if you don't know about Kansas Honor Flight, grab a brochure. I think you put some at the front and at the back, and talk with Dawn. It's a really wonderful thing. So thanks for being here. Okay, so obviously I'm very patriotic, and I do have a lot of opinions, which is what puts me in the position to want to do crazy things like start a brand new real estate company. You know, and even start a husband and wife team with a free moving truck and all the things that we did that helped us accomplish what we've done over the years, and then the real estate company. So I am a rebel. So I like your new name, Nicole, Rebel Boxing. I'm a rebel at heart. I did get one person that told me that 2 people won't come back because when we did our first seminar after the COVID shutdown, we felt we had to address the elephant in the room, which was what's going on in the world with the mask and the vaccines and medications. I feel very strongly that medications have not been made available and that hundreds of thousands of people have died because they didn't get cheap medicine that should be easy to get, and that we were totally lied to about that medication. We've saved a number of lives as Empowered Senior by talking about Dr. Seeberger and the medications that you can get to treat COVID, and I'm not ashamed to say that, and I'm not going to shush about that. And there are things that we say. We have candid conversations at Empowered Senior. That's what this is about. It's not about making everybody happy and following the popular narrative. It's about having some real candid conversations. We can have different opinions, but just pick and choose what's of interest to you. So I will just say again that there's medication to treat COVID. So if you know somebody that's sick, give me a call. 2 weeks ago, American Senior Benefits, the woman that runs the region, she feels like we saved her life by referring her to Dr. Seeberger. I know there's other doctors, hopefully, that are doing treatment, but there is medication available to help people. So we try to put some really good people in front of you so that you know, so you have some clues. And last month at our seminar, someone said, well, how do I know who to call about? We were talking about something completely different. How do I know what to ask in the hospital about where to go for rehab? No matter what it is, phone a friend. You can call anybody. You can call me anytime. You can call anyone that you see through our program, and we will try to refer you to the people that we would trust. And so anyway, so it's really fun putting all these resources together. So first of all, I would like to introduce my yoga teacher, Dr. Adrian Tartler. And I have some very special reasons for introducing him to you, and I'll let him share what some of that is. Thank you, Adrian, for being here. You don't.
It probably wouldn't fit. All right, hello everybody. Really excited to be here, and thank you, Catherine, for doing this. This is just awesome. It's just great for everybody to be out. It's been way too long. I'm a rebel as well, so I fit into the rebel.
Way up, everybody that talks.
Okay, thank you. I'm a rebel as well, and I feel blessed to be part of the Rebel Society here. Thank you. So a little history about me. I'm a first-generation American. My parents immigrated back in the 50s. They both managed to survive World War II in Europe, and both independently found their way to Australia. So there were two choices: Australia, warm, or Canada, cold. And they were tired of being cold, and so they went to the warmth. There they met, and they were married, and needed to wait their 10 years and come with, I think, 15,000 cash at that time, which was a lot of money. Those were the rules of immigration, and found their way here. So I have not been in active service, but my parents have been more than elated to be Americans and United States citizens, and to have brought me here. And we live in an amazing country. So, and we need to speak up, and we need to be willing to speak our truth, and to be willing to have dialogues that are uncomfortable. And that's the beauty of this country. There shouldn't be censorship. There should be a willingness to really communicate. So one of the things that I did was I angered my parents by deciding to become a chiropractor, not a medical doctor, a chiropractor. And so, but I was drawn to that because I was interested in what makes people healthy. I was interested in health and vitality and energy. I remember I was 16 years old, and I went and saw a yogi in California, right? I think yogi, California. So I went there. It was part of my English class, and I sat there and I watched this person not do all these contorted moves, but really just, he was literally talking to the class about yoga, and he was moving around, and he had so much energy and so much vitality. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like this person. And so we all kind of guessed how old that person was. And of course, you know, when you're 16, 40 is old, or, you know, 80 is ancient, and right, you know, we have this perspective when we're little brats that what old is. But I was like, oh God, the guy's got to be at least 40. And we found out that he was 78. And I was like, I could not believe it. And I'm like, I want to do what you're doing, you know, like whatever you're doing, you figured something out. And it took me a while. It took me a breakdown to like go after yoga for myself. But yoga and chiropractic are very similar in the philosophy, in the idea, not in the practice, but in the idea. And the idea is that there is this innate intelligence inside of us, that there is this innate intelligence inside of us that is there for us at any time that we call upon it, to help heal us, to help move us, to help inspire us. And we don't access that enough, right? And so as a chiropractor, one of the things is, well, we want to adjust you to release that energy, right? So that there's more flow, more communication in the body, and gives your body a higher level of vitality so that it can repair and heal itself. Right? That's really kind of the premise of it. And so yoga was the same, right? It was about creating, we talk a lot about, we want to create space in the body. We want to allow the body to move energy freely. And you want to start to learn to become aware of your body and pay attention to your body instead of be distracted or just check out, right? And so when we have injuries or when we start to not feel good, right, it's easy for us to want to check out because it's an uncomfortable place to be. And yet in yoga, the invitation is to go into that, to breathe with that, to move with that, to just be aware that you do not feel well right now. And in that moment of just bringing that awareness back in, things start to shift. You bring energy to that place, right? You haven't just shoved it away anymore and in the attic and said, okay, I know this exists, but I don't want to deal with it, right? So that's what happened to me. I was like, I don't know, 39, 40-ish, and I felt like crap. You know, I did not feel good. And I didn't like going to yoga and not feeling good. I was angry, I was sad, I'd gone through a divorce, I was missing my kids, and it was like the dark night of the soul for me. And yoga helped put me back together. And it put me back together by having to just be with that uncomfortableness. And through that, all of a sudden, in 30 days, I felt like a whole new person. And in 60 days, my pain in my body was gone. And I was starting to work again and starting to create my life. And then, all that yoga basically brought me here to Wichita, where I now have a beautiful wife and 3 kids. And I have had a yoga practice here for 12 years, and I've been doing teacher trainings. And I've been a health coach using my chiropractic and my nutritional background in that way. And so, we all have these ebbs and flows where things work out great and things don't work out great, right? And this is right? And here we are on this ride. So I believe very strongly that at any moment in time, you have the ability to tap into this innate intelligence and this power to change the way you feel. You really do. And yoga is very simple. Chiropractic is very simple. Nutrition is very simple. They want to make it very complicated out there for you, but it isn't. And if you take small little steps along the way, all of a sudden, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days later of doing different things than you're doing right now, you're going to be a very different person and you're going to feel markedly better. And so this is my kind of hope for all of you, is to know that you're not stuck in a place where you feel you are right now, that you can move from this place. And that's kind of what my message is, and my calling is to help people move from these places of being stuck, because I had to. Like, I was stuck. I was miserable. And I found the tools to be able to do that. So, and a lot of the people who have come to me, they've said, hey, well, what should I do? Should I come to you as a chiropractor or should I do yoga? And 99.9% of the time I'd say, do yoga. So, it doesn't really help my chiropractic practice out. But yoga is something that you do, right? It's yours. And you get to experience your body, and you get to experience what works for you. Because you're different than me. You're different than everybody else in this room. And so it's this exploration process and a movement process, an awareness process that is very, very powerful. And then you become a co-participant in your own health again. Whereas when you go to a doctor a lot, you're kind of giving yourself up to them, right? And even a chiropractor. And so fix me, or I'll do what you tell me to do, but you don't really feel like you're really a co-participant in this. And so the goal, and why I love yoga so much and why I started doing teacher trainings and education a lot, is that I wanted to empower the person to be a participant in their own health and to understand the power that they have in changing the way they feel and the course of the trajectory of their life, where they're going. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just do a little Q&A. So one of the things that caught my attention with you early on is you said if people would do yoga, they wouldn't need a chiropractor. That's some pretty good testimony on yoga. And when you're talking about space, I think some of what you're talking about is space in the spine and space in the joints. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's very healing and just that circulation. And it's something that you can do seated yoga in a chair.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the yoga that you do is like vinyasa flow.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind demonstrating what that looks like?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. But here, let me just. So one of the hard parts about yoga is that when people think of yoga, they go, well, I'm not gonna be able to do that, right? I'm not flexible enough, or I'm not fit enough to do yoga. And it's because there's this idea of fit with yoga. But when I first started yoga, I could not touch my knees, right? I mean, I could go like this, right? So you have to start someplace. And yoga isn't really the Cirque du Soleil gymnastics kind of oriented idea that we have of it. It's the state of your mind while you're in the pose. It's being present in the pose. So you can be present sitting, you can be present gardening, you can be present cooking, you can be present walking with a friend, walking your dog. That is yoga. It is being present. It's not being checked out. Okay, so when we do yoga, there is a much more vigorous style of yoga, and there's also a gentle style of yoga, and both are yoga, and both are extremely beneficial to your body. And one's not better than the other. They're just different. So it's really cool. But yes, she wants to have me show you a little bit of flow.
Just because I love their style of yoga, and it is something that you work towards. Yoga is for every body. So it's not for somebody that's already flexible. It's something that everybody can do in some way.
So this isn't something that I would start you all on at all, okay? But I'm just gonna show you a little bit about.
Just for entertainment, we're gonna show you some cool things today.
So flow just means linking your body movements with your breath. So this could be flow. So as you inhale, you bring your arms up. And then as you exhale, you bring your arms to your side. Right? So why don't we all just do that a little bit, okay? So try and breathe in and out through your nose, okay? So nose breathing has a different communication to the brain. It's actually stimulating the part of the brain that's about healing and about calming. And so when you breathe through your mouth, that really kind of stimulates the I've got to get out of here, something's chasing me part of the brain, which we're in too much of the time, right? So it's one of the beautiful things about yoga is you're actually being very active while you're up, kind of tricking your mind into also being healing and relaxing, right? So go ahead, let's take an inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, just bring your arms back down. All right, take a breath in. And exhale. So this time, as you're doing it, really feel what's happening in the arms. Take a breath in. And exhale. One last time. Take a breath in. And exhale. All right. So how do you feel, right? Do you feel a little bit different? Yeah, it feels good. It doesn't take very much in order to feel good or to feel different or to feel more relaxed or to feel calm, right? So these 90-minute intense crazy yoga classes are for some people. In the senior centers, we do 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter. It gives you an opportunity to breathe and to move and to connect with yourself. And that's what yoga is all about. So I'll do this crazy stuff that she wants me to do. So they're called sun salutations. So you would take a breath in, and then exhale, you would let yourself fold. All right, then you take an inhale, and you kind of come halfway. And then you would step back into a push-up. And then as you exhale, you would lower yourself down, holding yourself there. Then inhale, kind of do a nice opening here, and then exhale back into what we call down dog. My kids call it stink bug. And then you'd walk your feet forward and take an inhale.
Harder heels.
And then exhale, hold, and then inhale, and then exhale. Right? So again, it's just about linking. So you can do something simple like you can step back and go inhale here, exhale, just kind of inhale, just kind of reverse it a little bit, and then you can bring your forearm on top of your thigh and stretch. Right? Then you can come back, turn, right, and come forward. So you don't have to do this whole up and down thing. And all it is if you like to maybe try and balance, you can be holding on to a chair and you can lift your knee up, inhale, exhale, right? It's just learning to breathe and move and create this kind of rhythmic dance. And what happens is you start to learn how to breathe in and out through your nose, which brings more oxygen in, and it's very calming to the nervous system. It has a real deep release. So, you know, if you are sitting, you can incorporate twists, you can incorporate raising your arms up, you can turn, right? So you can do, and you do whatever you can do, right? You don't want to do things that are going to hurt yourself, right? Yoga is not about hurting yourself. It's not about no pain, no gain. Like, it's the opposite of that. It's about, I want to feel good. I enjoy being in my body. This feels good. I enjoy being in my body. Now I can move more. Now I'm thinking clearer. I'm not listening to this negative chatter anymore about how my body's breaking down and why is this happening to me? And, you know, it just starts to change. That's the space also in the mind, so that you can start putting new thoughts and more empowered thoughts in your mind. But it helps when you feel good, right? You can trick yourself only for so long. So you have to put those two things together. And so yoga is this really simple way to start to kind of change this narrative that's happening in your body of pain, and I'm stuck, and I don't have a way out, to I feel good, I feel better, this is working, I can do this, I want to continue to do this, right? And then all of a sudden, like I said, 30 days later, 6 days later, you're feeling really, really different. And so that's what I love about yoga.
It is amazing that our bodies can really heal themselves in really a short time. So you can take where you start, and as you go, no matter what kind of exercise you're doing, really notice the difference in your body. I think something that holds people back is feeling like a beginner and not feeling like they're going to fit in a class, or just being frustrated. And so a book that they had me read, I forget what it is, A Journey to Power, Baron Baptiste. And he talks about, do not despise the days of small beginnings, which goes back to the Bible. And it's about, have some grace for yourself for starting something new, and kind of relish that beginning point, because you'll never be there again, and you can work on from there. So I'm gonna have Nicole come up. And Adrian, if you could, thank you so much, Adrian. And he'll be here to ask questions, and we'll do Q&A. Grab a seat, yep. So this is my boxing coach. So, okay, confession. I kind of thought boxing sounded cool way back, but at the time when my daughter moved back here from being at Disney World and she wanted to be in boxing, I thought, I like yoga. I just didn't know. But you know what? You know, when kids are grown, I really missed watching her in choir performances and watching her sing on stage. And if I go to boxing with her, I could watch her box. She's really an awesome boxer. And so I could kind of have that joy of watching my kid do something. So I kind of did it for her because I felt like a real awkward dork. And I will tell you that I absolutely love it. So this is my coach, Nicole Seiler, and Pickles. So if you could tell them a little bit about why women are doing boxing and why seniors are doing boxing. Okay.
Sorry. Hi, everybody. I wanted to bring Pickles with me, well, for two reasons. She goes everywhere with me. And if you do end up coming to the club, this will be your welcoming committee as you walk in the door. So you guys know Pickles. I'm gonna let you babysit for a little bit, okay? A little bit about myself. I have not been a personal trainer my entire life. my previous life before this, I actually owned a Home Plus on the east side of Wichita. And while I was doing that, I got some of my residents into a program called Rock Steady, which is not why I ended up owning a boxing gym, believe it or not. But anyway, so I learned quite a few years ago how much boxing as a sport helps at all different levels, different diseases too. Rock Steady's primarily based around Parkinson's, if you aren't familiar with that program. But I ended up having I had more residents going without Parkinson's, and it was doing amazing things for them physically, mentally, everything that included. So that being said though, I did that for about 5 years. I was doing that by myself. I had 3, I actually had my youngest while I was opening the house. And I decided that that was taking too much time away from my family. 24/7 healthcare, if you're in it, is a tough gig. I loved it, but I had to find something else. So I had started boxing at my place to do something different for myself. And I absolutely fell in love with it. In fact, I say that, I told you this story. The first time I took a class, I walked in and I thought, I'm in decent shape. It shouldn't be too terrible. It's gonna hurt. And I left so mad and angry because it absolutely murdered me, but in a good way. It made me want to come back and keep working harder and trying to understand and get better at this sport, which is what, to me, is one of the coolest things about boxing is you're in competition with yourself and nobody else in the room. With that being said, boxing, where we go, I've got multiple people in the crowd today that actually box with me. Audrey's been with me. Go ahead and stand up if you don't mind, Audrey. She's been boxing with us since we opened, 5 years. Yep. This table right here, they are new to me, but coming consistently. Doing a good job. Stand up, everybody. Wave. They just started. Yep. And then over here is Kylie Schultz. Some of you might know her husband, Dr. Drew Schultz. Pretty cool guy, if you ask me. She has been boxing at the gym since we opened. She was actually my very first personal training client that helped me work out and learn. Her and I learned together how to do mitts. And Kylie also has started lifting weights with me, and that has helped her overcome a lot of injuries and pain that she has with arthritis, knee issues as well. So that being said, boxing not only challenges you physically, it'll challenge you mentally, which is huge. And then it also helps progress past some of those ailments that keep you from moving, that keep you from staying active, which kind of turns into a domino effect for some people. You hurt, so you don't move, so things continue to digress, right? Okay, so at the gym, what we do, we've got 3 different areas that we focus on. Boxing, obviously, and kickboxing. We've got weight training, which I hope everybody understands how important that is at all ages, especially for women. And then we also do self-defense, which Katherine has been a part of our private classes. And we're not teaching people how to go out and start a fight and finish a fight, okay? That's not what we're doing. We're very practical and deliberate in those practices where if somebody were to approach you, we actually start from the beginning, how to carry yourself in a room or how to carry yourself out in public to make you somebody that doesn't appear to be a threat. We start from that basic level. Into if somebody were to approach you just here and they talk to you, how to respond correctly, how to become the aggressor almost at that point. And then we progress into if somebody were to put their hands on you in different ways. If somebody has a weapon, we show you different ways to quickly detour that person and then get away. Now, if you want to stay and finish it, I guess we can teach you how to do that too, but that's not the goal. So I'm going to do a little demonstration with Kylie.
Great.
And like I said, remember, this is not something that neither one of us have been doing forever. About 3 years now, but this is what we call mitt work. So what we do in our classes, you hit a 100-pound hanging bag, all right? We don't hit each other, nobody comes in contact with each other. Now, an option that you can do then is get with a coach one-on-one, and you can do mitt work. And we'll just go through a couple of things real quick. I'm gonna pull maybe a couple of you up here, to try it, so don't be scared, get ready. All right, so I'm gonna call the punches out too. If you can count to 4, you can box. And everybody can hear, so no excuses,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah, let's teach them what the
Yep.
floor is.
All right. All right, so we call the punches by names and by numbers. Jab, cross, hook, hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just gonna have you throw one at a time, okay? She's gonna throw a jab, that's her 1, right here. All right, she's gonna throw a cross, that's her 2. She's gonna throw a front side hook, that's a 3. Back side hook is a 4, all right? So if I call a 1, 2, here's what she's gonna throw. Jab, cross, all right? Good, 1, 2. All right, we're gonna add that 3. This is one of the favorite combinations in the club. Jab, cross, hook, 1, 2, 3. Good, jab, cross, hook. 1, 2, 3. Add that 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Good. All right, defense. I'm gonna actually throw a punch in her face. She's gonna move out of the way, all right? I won't hit her, I promise. And she's good enough to dodge it, even if I wanted to. She's hit me. She's hit me too. Let's not go there. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, slip 2. Good, 1, 2, slip 2. Okay, that's one form of defense. Now she's gonna roll instead of a slip. So a slip, she's dodging straight down the pipe, either way. All right, a roll, she's stepping underneath a hook. All right, so she's gonna go same combination. She's just gonna roll instead of slip. Here we go. Check, roll. Okay, now she's gonna block the punch. These are Kylie's favorite. One way to get her really fired up and upset is to touch her while we're doing this. All right. But her face is already getting red. But it's a legitimate, it's a block. It's a legitimate defensive move. So she's gonna go jab, cross, block, cross. All right? 1, 2. Good. All right. Who wants to come up and try it? You don't have to be that good. Really good. Don't make me pick.
If you'd like to, maybe we should everybody stand up and just
Okay,
practice what
yeah.
a 1, 2 is. So if you'd like, stand.
Everybody stand up. Remember, if you can count to 4, you can do this. No excuses.
I've gotten better at counting 4.
That's right. Katherine, she's an expert at counting to 4 now. Okay, I'm gonna have you ladies demonstrate while I walk around. We're gonna, everybody, if you're right-handed, your left foot's gonna be forward. If you're left-handed, your right foot's gonna be forward. The reason for that is your power comes from your dominant side. That's why your non-dominant side's forward, okay? So everybody hands up on your chin. Boxing stance, good, good, good. All right, I want you to throw jab, cross, 1, 2. Right up your chin, 1, 2. There you go, there you go. 1, 2, good, good. Right up your chin, keep those elbows tight on your body. Good. All right, let's go 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go jab, cross, front side hook. Think nose, nose, ear. There you go. 2 to the nose, 1 to the ear. Good, good. There you go. Now add that 4th one. We're gonna go jab, cross, hook, hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jolene, be careful. Wait till you all get home to do that, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Jab, cross, hook, hook. There you go. Elbows up on those hooks. Get around the side. Good, good. There you go. Good job. All right, you ready? You're gonna do it with me. Hold on. No pressure.
We also have Shannon here that can talk about boxing.
Okay. I want right? Good. Jab, cross. Good, good. 1, 2. All right, 1, 2, 3. Jab, cross, hook. There you go. Good. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Good. Jab, cross, hook. Good. There you go. Good. Woo-hoo. Oh, you go.
It's really mobility, balance, and your thinking. It's good for your brain. Tell us why is it good for Parkinson's? Why is it good for seniors?
So when it comes to movement like that, and this goes in line with arthritis, I've got quite a few clients that actually have RA, and I've got one client that has RA and MS, and she absolutely murders it. So what it does is it helps your body build fluid around those joints. What you talked about earlier, motion is motion. I was always told rust doesn't move or doesn't grow on a moving part. Same idea, right? So it helps build that fluid back up around your joints. It helps with your motor skills. It helps with all of those things. Kylie, actually, when we first started, you could barely step up onto a block that was about this high, just because of the pain that she had in her knee. Now I've got her stepping up on things that are waist high and we do all kinds of weird stuff now. But yeah, so now did she have to work through some of that? Was it uncomfortable at first? Absolutely. And it's scary because you're doing something different. But I will say, myself and my staff, when you go to any gym or you train with anybody, make sure you go somewhere where you trust the people that are teaching how to do things. And trust them to know that they're going to push you. They're going to push you quite a bit, but it's good for you. I know we do that in class quite a bit.
Yeah, and you have to push through being a beginner. You've got to stick with any of this long enough to feel more confident and to not give up. The reason to do these, to choose an exercise, whether it's dancing or anything, is to help your mindset, to help your body, to have a better quality of life. Why is she having her stepping up on things? So that we can really enjoy our life and that we're able to be mobile and that we could go keep up with the grandkids at Disney World or just, have a good time at an afternoon party.
Audrey, how many push-ups can you do now? At the beginning of class, 20 push-ups. Started. 3, which is still really good, by the way. Let's not downplay that. And Audrey, we know that you're kind of a freak of nature, okay? I want to be like you when I grew up. But 3 push-ups 4 years ago, now she does 20 in her sleep. She held a 9-minute plank or something the other day. If you don't know what planks are, it's the longest minute of your life when you're in a plank. So just one example, okay? Kylie's another example. And like I said, we have all different ages at the gym. I've got ages from 9 years old, and then we've got people in their 70s that do it. And there is no discrimination on age in the class. We put you all in the same class. And typically, my more mature people embarrass the younger people because they don't know how to pace themselves. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? We are located at Central and Mays. I don't know if you knew where the title boxing was, that it started there. We're in the same spot. I just bought it and got out from underneath the franchise. So, any questions?
It's also a great stress.
It is a great, I can't let her say that. Yeah, you get to hit something and not get in trouble. And the music's really loud, so you can mumble or just say out loud, whatever it is. Say somebody's name, picture them on the back, whatever it might be. But it absolutely is a great stress reliever, as is with any exercise. But this is a little violent, if you're into that, it can be. So we throw some elbows, we throw some kicks, we throw some knees in there. And one other thing I didn't mention is everything we do can be modified 100%. Kylie, for instance, does not kick. It does not bode well for her at all. You don't kick, do you? Nope, you don't kick either. Yep, because it hurts, right? Yep, and if it hurts, after a certain point, there's no reason to do it. We have modifications for everything. Audrey does everything, so she doesn't count. So there's no excuse there. If there's something that hurts, we either modify it for you, or we can give you something completely different to do. All right. Any questions? Yes.
How much do you charge for classes?
It ranges on how often you would come to class. We're open 7 days a week. And so,
They can try for free.
yep, you've got 3 free trials, 3 free classes. And then depending on your frequency, we've got different packages for that. All right, guys, well, thanks for having us. Thanks for letting Pickles come in. She'd been heartbroken if she had to stay home this morning. And I'm gonna give these away. I'm gonna let you pick the 3rd person to get that one. These are to my volunteers. Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. So one thing that I hear her say a lot that's very inspiring to me is that she wants to be strong. And that has had an impact on me. And I think that that is really admirable. You're so great at all your inspirational postings and everything. So if you're, especially if you're a West Sider, I would say check it out. And you mentioned it's more violent. You never know if you might like it.
It's pretty fun.
That you'll be in a better mood when you walk out than when you walk in. Sometimes it really does change your mood. Let's have the rest of our panelists come out and thank you, Nicole. Everyone else is speaking today. Come on up so we can start a panel. And another demo that we want to do for sure is pole walking. And Shanna teaches rock steady boxing on the east side. Can you talk to us about Muhammad Ali and rock steady boxing, why that's good for Parkinson's, just briefly?
Do you want us to lead into? Yeah, let's keep it short so we can start our panel. We're gonna keep it short. Okay, hi, I'm Shanna Gatchett and I'm an occupational therapist. And this is Connie Arbonic, she's a physical therapy assistant. And, okay, even more, got it. Thank you, Nicole. Nicole's very great about education and instruction, and I'm so glad because now I don't have to repeat everything she just said. It was fabulous. But I'm one of the coaches at Rock Steady Boxing, which is a boxing program specific to people with Parkinson's disease. And interestingly, Parkinson's brought us here to be on the advocacy ride with Katherine, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit more in a little bit to introduce you to fitness poles. But in regards to Parkinson's disease, everything that Nicole was saying, it helps loosen the body. Parkinson's is a movement disorder. And so how do we fight it? We move. Well, guess what? That's what we all need to do. Our bodies are meant to move. And so, I don't know, is there anything else with Parkinson's?
Well, there's a
Muhammad Ali.
connection with Muhammad Ali, yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, it's probably, goes without saying that Muhammad Ali was, the reason he did acquire Parkinson's was because of all the blows to the head. So thank you, Nicole, for being this non-contact sport. But what a legend to be a true fighter and fight through the disease. So Rock Steady Boxing actually came about by a gentleman who was in his 30s. He was a attorney, and he started with a personal trainer who was boxing. And one of his major symptoms with Parkinson's disease was a tremor. Not everybody has the same symptoms. By all means, everybody is extremely different. One day he went to dinner with his with a coworker or a client, and he put out his hand. He said, "Oh my goodness, I am rock steady." And so he realized that all the benefits of the boxing, of the movement, of challenging his mind, of challenging how he moves to be functional, like Katherine said, to move in our everyday and live life. That's how Rock Steady came about. So if you know somebody with Parkinson's disease, love to share that. We're going to continue today with something that works for everyone. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Anytime I meet a real estate client or someone says that somebody has Parkinson's, I always mention Rock Steady Boxing because I know what a difference it can make. And I know it has something to do with the right, left movements and just the balance. It's amazing. So, all right. So fitness walking sounds a little less violent.
Okay, so we are going to introduce you to Nordic walking, which is also called urban polling. And as clinicians, we noticed how, starting with working with people with Parkinson's, we became certified in this class called urban pole walking. And so we noticed the benefits of how much our clients were improving with their posture, with their mobility, with their balance, with their stamina, everything included. And so today we want to show you the benefits, kind of do a demonstration. We have somebody here to give a testimonial on it. And the best thing is that when we were working with people with Parkinson's, their loved ones and their spouses, they also brought poles, purchased poles, whatever, came with us, and they were showing the benefits as well. So then this is why we want to bring it out to the world. It's definitely a something that's trending in the United States. We're thinking we're going to see more and more of it. So we're glad to show you.
So urban polling actually started in Finland. And talk louder. Okay. Urban polling actually started in Finland. It was a way for the cross-country skiers to be able to exercise in the summer. So they called it ski walking. So it's just the cross-country skiing movement of the upper body, and then you're walking. And what they found out is they were able to maintain excellent shape with that, because it does incorporate about 90% of your muscles when you're walking. So it's a great cardiovascular workout. It increases the intensity for your walking, and it's just a great strength training for the upper body as you're walking. I think Shanna is going to talk through a little bit of the demonstration while I show it.
So when we start out, we always, actually, I'm going to take your poles from you, and I just want you to walk. We always introduce people to, go for a walk. We need to, like everybody's been talking about today, being aware of your body, being aware of exactly how you move, what you're doing, where you're going with it. Pay attention to, if you watch our model here, she's actually doing reciprocal arm and leg movement. So our arms naturally should move with the opposite leg, if that makes sense. So then we introduce the poles, and we don't have you, okay, we're gonna start moving fast with them. We have you feel it and feel the weight of them and drag them behind you, so that you're just kind of knowing and being more aware of what you should experience as we pick this pace up a little bit. And it's gonna slide on this floor. There are different tips that are available. There's tips for more stability, and there's a different style of technique. This technique is actually for fitness training. So when we get people started, then we have them just start grabbing the poles. These poles are actually designed, they're ergonomically designed. They are not your typical poles that you find in any store. And the reason for that is when Connie is pushing back on the pole, she is actually getting some resistance and putting back pressure that activates. If you walk 1 mile with these poles, you will contract 1,800 muscle contractions. You don't have 1,800 muscles, sorry, I totally said that wrong. You will have 1,800 muscle contractions if you walk 1 mile with the poles. I mean, that's phenomenal. So what it's doing is, it is strengthening your core, it is working on your posture, you are pushing down in the poles, and I'm telling you, your triceps will be on fire if you're doing this correctly. What am I missing, honey? We don't have the strap. The straps are not on these poles for a specific reason. It can be a safety risk. It can be a fall risk, especially if you trip on something and the poles make you fall.
Well, since occupational therapists are so cool, it was an occupational therapist that actually designed this. So I think Shanna's pretty cool. But she didn't design these, unfortunately, or she probably would be here.
Come on.
But they did a lot of design techniques into the poles, and so they had made sure that the ergonomic grip on the wrist would be good. They did create the ledge so that you do have a source to push down on. And there's also a lot of vibration when you're outside walking and you're hitting these poles. So they put on a lot of different vibrational tips. So you can see the cute little boot that they designed. That's meant to help with anti-vibration. They have a little ferrule here that helps with anti-vibration in the middle. And then the hands will also help with the anti-vibration. And I have actually used cheap poles, like the $15, $20 poles. They do not work. They are vibrating. You can see the whole pole vibrating. So it is a very high quality pole, and it is very comfortable to walk with.
I'm just going to give a few more benefits, so bear with us. So one of the main things that we have noticed with people using the walking poles, that it can actually burn up to 20 to 40% more calories while you're walking. So my goodness, if we're going for a walk anyway, why not amp it up a little bit and get some of that more calories and more benefits from it. It increases your posture. You talked a lot about knee pain. These poles offload, so you're using your arms to help compensate for that knee pain. And so many people are using this as a regimen to help with their pain.
Every push down offloads the hips and offloads those knees. And it also allows for that increased step length, speed, as you can get going.
And if any of you have traveled to Europe, you notice that these are so common in Europe. In America, if we need an assistive device to walk, typically it's with a walker. So many people use poles in Europe. So this is going to be trending. We've actually worked with people who have graduated from a walker back to poles. It's for all levels of ability. It helps with all areas of fitness, any age. And what else do we want to say, Connie?
And I mean, since we do specialize in Parkinson's, we can say that we use the poles a lot with people with Parkinson's. It does help them tremendously. And just every other aspect that we had said, movement, core strength, balance. We get to do a lot of rotational pieces, kind of like the yoga. We do a lot of rotation. You can do flows with them. Just multiple stretches and exercises too with the poles that we can do with anybody really throughout their exercise or walking time that they're with us.
Perfect. We do have one person here that I would like to introduce you to. She's been using her poles faithfully, and I will have her give a short testimonial.
Okay. No, that's okay. Hi, my name's Kay Wiggins, and I met Connie a couple of years ago, and she kept telling me about walking with sticks. I thought she was crazy. But anyway, I couldn't quite figure out what the sticks looked like. And so she did a lot of walking in the park, so we went walking, and she showed me how to use the sticks. And I couldn't believe what a difference it made. And when we started it, there were two things that I was really interested in: my posture and my balance. I don't know if any of you worry about that as you get older, but I sure do. And I found that my posture was bending over because I was looking at where I was going. And so I was leaning over. And they talked about the sticks. With the sticks, it really opens up your chest and it really makes your posture very much improved. The other thing that it helps is the balance. And that really is important the older we get. And so the balance really helps. They also have a program that's called Waist Whittler. I'm still working on that one. So, and when she talked about the sticks, they have plain sticks, but they also come in pink. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Oh, you did. You say that so well. You're coming with us on every event, okay? Last thing we wanted to mention is that we are starting Wichita pole walking classes, Nordic walking in Wichita. So if you're interested in joining us, there are 4-week sessions right now at different locations. We are partnering with Mays Rec Center as well as WSU for their extended education programs. We have flyers over here. And then, of course, we have Poles for Parkinson's that are starting as well. So please look for us after the show for any questions. Thank you.
Great. Stay with the seat too, because we'll start doing more like Q&A. And so, I don't know if you recognize this young woman, Rebecca Hegarty with Club Hope. She was the star and her gym was featured in one of our recent television episodes on PBS Kansas. So Channel 8 is usually what people know of PBS Kansas. There's actually 4 stations altogether, and our show airs Friday night on Channel 8, Saturday afternoon on 8, and then it's on 8:02 on Sunday evening. So watch for that. We're having a lot of fun with these 30-minute television episodes, and it's helping spread the word. So I know you brought a lot of people with you, and I would really encourage you to look online and find her episode. It was one of the best we've ever done, and I'm using it as an example for others on how to participate on being on TV with us. So thank you, Rebecca.
All right, so I have a little presentation as well, but first I just wanted to mention, so what Club Hope is a small community. It's a gym. I think any of us who have opened our own business is most likely a rebel, because we saw something that needed to be better and we made it ourselves. So that's what we've done. We're brand new really to the area. We opened in August, but what it is it's a small, intimate community where we move. And our focus is aging gracefully, older aging, active aging adults, and cancer survivors are the two things that we really focus on. And we start from anything from modified fitness, where we move in a chair, we move beside the chair, where we focus on balance and stability, to low impact training. And we also have the cycle, which is low impact cardio. So what we do in the gym, everything that we do, it's all low impact. I just had someone yesterday who came in, he's newer to the club. He gave me a review on Google, which was nice. And he said, been to the club 5 times, used to have terrible shoulder pain, and I can already tell it's getting better. I'm more flexible and I'm able to move more. So a lot of times when we have an injury or something in our lives, as we age, things are gonna happen. Our knees hurt, our hip might get tight, our shoulders, those are the typical things. And we tend to pull back, we tend to protect. So when we protect, we tend to make it worse. So it's all about starting to move through it safely and with the right people. So that's what we do. We do functional living at Club Hope as well as, group training. But what we're gonna do, I just wanted to let you know, so something we talked about last time is music. Oh, these new phones, you have to look at your face, just a second. Okay, so we do a lot of movement here at the club, of course. Let me get it connected here. So we're gonna move a little bit here, but, see if I get it here.
While she's getting that ready, Randy's 86 years, that's my husband Randy in the background with the flag over his face there. His 86-year-old mother is going to 2 group exercise classes a week with Rebecca, and Friday, personal training, which she wasn't so keen on.
Ooh, she was not. First time she came in, Catherine and her were fighting because she had to come see me. That's right.
And within like 5 minutes, Rebecca identified how she was walking that was actually exacerbating her hip pain. So there's nothing that can replace a personal trainer, a fitness expert, an occupational therapist, a physical therapist that can explain, they can observe and coach you. And so exercising at home, awesome, but it doesn't replace having an expert watch you move, watch you walk, because they can fix something like that.
Okay, so whenever you're moving, you can do this at home, right? So I have, yeah, that's you, let's go.
In your seats or
So anybody can join, but come on. We're gonna move. You can move in your chair, you don't need to get up. It's not necessary. Find your favorite song and just move. Just don't throw your hip out.
Oh, Catherine, she's moving across the room.
You are right, she's really.
So next we're gonna do hip circles. You should do hip circles every day, nice and wide. Hips are one of the tightest things that go first, right? Hips and shoulders. So nice big hip circles. Other way. Back to that twist. And just know you don't have to be standing to move. Some people start in that chair until they get comfortable moving. We work a lot on balance. All of our classes include balance.
Yeah.
See, y'all gonna be nice and loose after this, right? It's all about having fun too. If you're coming to a place, you gotta make sure you like it. So we have fun first and we get fit second. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next song real fast. Stay up where you are. So basically, in all of our modified especially, when we're moving, everything we do with this attention, with scientific proof. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna locomote 2 to the side, then 2 back. So when we fall, we tend to fall to the side or to the back. So in our classes, we move those directions so that if we misstep, we're more likely to catch ourselves. So that's why we're going to the side. Coming up, we're gonna do toe taps right here. Toe taps forward, right here. Tap it forward. And then we also get fancy because we use that brain work, cross it over, Anytime you cross, your left and right brain have to think differently, right? You can add arms if you want. That, of course, adds more cardio. Yeah, y'all are looking good. Yeah? Yeah. All right, you guys ready to chug again? To the side, 2. Back to the side. Here you go. Swing those hips. You gotta swing those hips. You can swing those hips still. Come on, they still work. You know it. Next, here we go. Take it back. Step it back. If you have to hold a chair, hold that chair. Again, using our brain differently. It's all what's safe for you. And then if you want to get fancy, we're going to cross behind. Cross. You have to slow it down. You see how all these steps are not just moving your body, but they're making your brain think. If we don't use it, we lose it, folks. We don't want to lose that brain. We don't want to lose mobility. We don't want to lose balance. If you use it, you get better. Good, marching here. Okay, so now everybody's going to get their chair beside them. Have a chair beside you. A little chair, how about that? If he falls, I'll catch him. If I fall, he's catching me. Ready? That's right. Okay, so I want you all to just lift your leg and hold it. Test your balance. Can you do it without the chair? Every class, we do this particular thing. And we hold it for about 20, 25. And I promise, those who cannot even lift it, shake that out. Other leg, think it's going to be worse or better. Lift and hold. This is most likely your unnatural leg. So we do this every class. And while right now you may think your balance is not that great, go ahead and rest here. It is something, sometimes people think my knee hurts, my arms hurt, I have terrible balance, I have to live with it. Just know that you do not. There's all kinds of resources up here at the front. Finding what's right for you is key, something that you love, something that you want to go to. After we had the meltdown of her mom, the next time, like she was like, she's even driving herself now. This week she drove herself twice. I'm like, woohoo! And she came, she didn't take a detour, you know? So like those little steps of like really wanting to be there, being in community, being with people who understand, and just having fun. That's what Club Hope is all about. We're at 119th and Central, also on the west side. So I will have information for anybody who wants it. You can come visit us anytime.
Awesome. It feels good to move. It feels good. All right, so Karen Tipton, she's working on technology for seniors. So we'll bring her back another day to talk more about technology. But today, she's going to tell us a little bit about how technology can assist us with health.
Absolutely. So I won't take up too much time, but yeah, so I was put in charge at home instead to find out how we can get technology back into some of the homes that we're in. How many of you had recently had a family member say, you need more technology so we can stay in touch better? Anybody? Anybody's family been bothering about that? I see hands going, a little bit, right? And so that's something that I was put in charge with. But we also wanted to figure out how can some of this technology help us move, keep them going, remind them. So I've been looking at all different types of technology, but the biggest one that I think I've noticed today, even in some of our panelists, are wearables. So Catherine's got her wearable on today, I've got my wearable. When I say that, the wearable really is a piece of technology that just keeps you moving and helps track your health. So with my wearable, it reminds me to stand up. It reminds me to walk. It reminds me to do activity. It tracks my activity. I have 3 minutes of exercise today already, Catherine. Yes, because I've been here and doing this with you guys today. So I already have 3 minutes of exercise. So really having a wearable helps you understand what you're doing, how you're moving, how many steps you're taking, and it encourages you to keep up with your goals. So if you feel like, I don't know if I want to wear something that talks to me or wear something that's going to keep me connected like that, lean into that uncomfortable feeling. I think the biggest theme I've had today with everybody who has spoken is it's going to be uncomfortable at first. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But you know what? Lean into feeling uncomfortable because that means you're learning, that means you're growing, and that means you're getting healthier. So I think I can do that. Yes?
Awesome. So before COVID, we'd have a lot of seniors say, oh, I don't have email or I don't have a smartphone, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay that you're in my
And we'd say, oh, that's okay. Well, post-COVID, it's not okay. We can't laugh at younger generations because they don't know how to use the card catalog, or they don't know what to do with the rotary phone. We can't laugh at them if we're not also staying with the times and learning. And so we're going to be talking about technology more as we go. So if your kids have been begging you to get a better phone, would you please let them help you pick it out. Let them help you learn how to text and take photos and some of that if you're not doing that. None of us liked learning to text, I don't think. I didn't. I had a business partner. She used to just make me so mad texting me. And I had to text her back, and I did not like it. And then a few years later, it was difficult for me to work with some of our handymen that didn't text. Well, they do text now. So it's important, and it's anything that you can learn is going to help you grow. So let's do some Q&A. Let's ask some questions. Let's find out a little bit more, so we can pull out a little more. And then some of them are going to be able to stay and do some demonstration. Yes, Nicole, if you have time, you can come on up too. Did you ever think somebody would be trying to talk to you about boxing? Audrey, could you stand up again? Audrey and I were in class together a couple weeks ago, and I invited her to come with me. She is in so much better shape than I am, and I'm just so excited that you're here, Audrey, and I want you to be on the television program if you'll do that. So we're going to have a lot of this. We're going to do deeper dives on TV on some of these topics. And then these are my buddies that I box with all the time. We're all kind of new. So, all right, we got to have some questions. What kind of questions do you have? Thank you. Now, watch me get some cardio. Good thing I have my wearable on, so I can get my points.
Get some Nordic sticks going. Come on.
That's what I was wondering. Where do you get the Nordic sticks so I can walk to Rebecca's club and work out?
Yeah, there you go.
And how much are those sticks?
I like your mindset. That's a good strategy. So these poles they're called urban poles. They are specifically designed for this. They are $100. The classes we offer range from $40 to $50 for 4-week sessions, and they compact, they're lightweight, they're easy to travel. Your gym goes with you or to Rebecca's.
And there's gyms everywhere. You know, there are fitness centers and gyms all over the place, so try some different ones out.
Well, I just wanted to add, I wanted you to show the activator poles as well. I'm Janelle Schulte. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I'm working with these ladies. And we have these other poles too that they didn't really have a chance to show that are for maybe a little bit lower level.
Need more
to start
balance
with.
and stability.
Yeah, more balance, more stability. And so I wanted to make sure that they showed them, because you can start out with these, and these are going to be more in front of you, so they're going to offer more stability. And then there was another thing I wanted to make sure everybody knew, that these pools, you can actually do exercises sitting in a chair with them.
Yes.
Which is great. You can just do them standing, you can do them in a chair. So they're great to add to just any home exercise program. Depending, I mean, even if you are not ambulatory and cannot walk around, these are still a great tool to add to your home exercise program.
Thank you.
Maybe you could demonstrate in a chair.
Oh,
Sure.
Oh, yes.
100 for the pair. Okay. Probably extra for pink, I don't know. But
Absolutely.
there are more pink.
Did you want to do a couple of?
it's worth it. So a lot of times we'll run into seniors that are afraid to spend money. They're afraid to spend to have somebody help clean their house, or a fitness trainer, or a chiropractor. And honestly, if you've saved, this is what you've been saving your money for these years, so you can be happier, healthier, have a better quality of life. So treat yourself to some poles and some boxing and some yoga and a chiropractor and all those things to help you feel better.
Okay, I'm just going to coach Connie here a second so that I can use the microphone as well. So before we get started, probably like any fitness place or fitness program, you should get warmed up, right? So we do some warm-ups and sitting. These are called power moves. We actually are trained with Parkinson's with them, but we share them with everybody.
And so there's some where we go side to side and we get a full body stretch. That's the whole point of these. The poles give an extension of your extremities to really pay attention of how far you're stretching. Can I go even farther? I'm going to give targets to reach for and so forth. And then we can go ahead and put the poles down, and then let's do a power twist. I'm sorry, with the poles, but sorry, we didn't go through this. I don't know if I've coached you before. Are you coachable?
Pretty sure. All right, so we're gonna try the power twist and then reach over. Let me do it with you.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start out like this, and we think about overemphasizing everything, because as we age, we wanna take smaller steps because we're a little bit hesitant. Maybe our balance is a little bit off, so we overemphasize everything, and we practice with the poles, and so we do this in sitting or standing, just like that. And we keep.
What's the brand? I mean, Urban Poles.
Actually, the brand is Urban Polling. Mhm.
Is this similar to cross-country skiing?
It is, without the shoes. Actually, yes.
I'm not probably gonna do that, but I've always wondered that question.
Yes.
Cross-country skiing is this.
You could try them after class if you like.
Yeah.
We have here, anybody that would like to try them.
We could have done it for a couple of days here.
Run, Catherine.
My mask on. I have to take it off.
So you may, if you start using these in your neighborhoods, you may have people yell at you, it's the wrong season, but just do it anyway, okay?
Is Sharon Witzel still here? Oh, darn it. So Sharon Witzel runs the Catholic ministry for seniors. And so we'll have her another time to talk about travel. Oh, you're here? Okay, Sharon, did you have anything you wanted to share today?
No, I just want to say this is a great program. I want to sign up for all these classes.
Awesome, good. Thank you for coming, Sharon. It's so great. She does so many wonderful things for seniors in a whole big extended area. Thank you, Sharon. All right, who's next? Show us a question. What's the difference between yoga and... What is the difference between yoga and taekwondo?
Well,
And Tai Chi might be another one she might be thinking of.
are you thinking Tai Chi or Taekwondo? Okay, well, so Taekwondo is more of a martial art. And I don't know much about Taekwondo, so I can't really, I'm not an expert at that. But probably Tai Chi and yoga are more synonymous as far as sometimes. So they're just different ways of moving and different ways of bringing awareness in. One is more, has been a tradition that was brought from India. The other is more from China. So, but it's the same thing. It's about movement. It's about being aware and about breathing. And so it's really, you just have to kind of pick and choose which you feel is better for you.
And Tai Chi, a lot of times you're just on your feet, I think, and like moving real slow. Like you might see like people in San Francisco doing it out in the parks. So I want to
It's a San Francisco thing.
Yeah, well, make it a Wichita thing. I think we should do some Tai Chi this summer out in the Asian garden or something, and also some yoga.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe experience both.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, we've got a question back here. Are you learning anything today?
Oh, yeah.
Was the word coming out? More steps. Okay.
I just wondered how many people here maybe are not aware of the programs that are available through Medicare. They will pay for you to get a membership to a gym and maybe, I mean, I don't know if all these different things would qualify, but in order to keep us stronger and healthier and avoid Medicare expenses, you can get it for free. And you just sign up for it. You can go to the Y, you can get a membership to the Y, we go to Genesis, and we do a lot of these kind of moves and stuff like that, so we're much more agile than we were before. But it's a wonderful thing to be able to have a free thing, you can go as much as you want, little as you want. And I just wanted to be sure that everybody knew that it was available.
Excellent, thank you, Kim. So she said check into your Medicare because you have some free benefits for the YMCA, Genesis, maybe other things. And, you know, maybe with occupational therapy and physical therapy. So American Senior Benefits is one of our sponsors, and I don't see them here today, but we can always refer you to them or call your Medicare specialist, hopefully somebody local that really gets involved and helps you because there's some great programs. Were you gonna add anything to that, Kim?
You don't have to have silver sneakers to join.
Okay, you don't have to have silver sneakers to join, okay? All right, who's next? All right, I'm over here. Julie.
I just want to ask Rebecca, if you offer chair exercises for people with balance issues. I have deafness on one side, and so my balance is off almost all the time.
You'd fit right in.
You would fit right in, and I think all of them would do chair exercises. You can even do chair boxing, and so I'll let Rebecca answer that, but yes, there's a lot you can do seated in the chair. I'll be right back.
And I want to talk about hearing too.
Okay. Yes, so we actually have a class specifically called Modified Fitness, and what we do is it's primarily in the chair. We do stand up and try to work on our balance some, but it's all, the amazing thing is once you start moving, you actually do improve. So while everybody will start primarily in the chair, over time they'll begin standing more and doing more while they're up. It also includes its cardio, it's strength training that's based on science that supports functional living, as well as stretching, all in 1 hour of class. And that's the target of it, is really functional living, balance, and just being safer in our environments.
You are much safer if you exercise and you keep your mobility and flexibility up. Now I want to talk about hearing too, because something that Dr. Seeberger told me recently is that you've really got to work on your hearing, get your hearing the best it can possibly be. So like really work on the hearing aids, because your brain is using energy to hear things even if you don't realize it. So you could be walking in your house and your brain is trying to hear the television in the other room, even though you don't think you're paying attention. And it can cause people to fall or have an accident because they're using a brain injury or brain power. So hearing is really important. Where are your hearing aids?
If you have knee or hip pain, do you people recommend you see a specialist before coming to your gyms or signing up to your boxing or dancing or whatever you do?
I think they're all going to say that you should consult your doctor. What I'm going to tell you is that these are all specialists. That's my opinion, and we're being candid, we're being real. And so you are in charge of, you're your first personal trainer and your first doctor, so you've got to make decisions for yourself. You're in charge of you. You're in charge of your body. And these people really know what they're doing. And all right, Shanna's going to answer that.
So 100% yes, in my experience anyway, coming as a clinician in that background and working with the community, if you know what, it takes a team. If there's a specific issue that requires physical therapy, occupational therapy, that they can specialize in that 100%. If your benefits pay for it, absolutely you should take advantage of that. And I'm sure, just on the safety route, all of us would go that route as well. The only other thing I wanted to say with the poles is that we do sell them so that you can hopefully waive, because we don't charge shipping and handling, obviously. But the poles are not meant to say, here you go, have a nice day. I would never sell anybody a set of poles if you weren't either one-on-one training with us or in our class, because there is a lot of detail behind it. And that goes back to safety and technique and how to use it.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you. All right, so we've got time for a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap, and then you can come up and ask your individual questions.
I just wanted to know if that club, if you're on, is it on the schedule? Is that on under Channel 8 or is it the TV?
Yes. So we can post a link on Facebook. We'll make sure that I just hired a virtual assistant, thank goodness. So we're going to start posting more on the website so you can find these things. But you can also go to pbs.org and just say that you're Wichita and our show will come up, or you can go to kpts.org. So it's out there, you can find it, but I'll be sure to post that fitness episode today.
And I have information, yes, you can come up afterwards. I have information I can give you that has the website and that information as well.
Okay, thank you, Judy. Anyone else? Yes, all right, Dr. Carter.
So here's really kind of the challenge. Like, so for all of us who are in the fitness world, right, we all know that there's resistance, and I know that I had a bunch of resistance when I knew I needed to do things differently myself. And it took me probably a month and 13 different yoga studios in Phoenix, Arizona for me to find something that really worked. And it was really frustrating. I wanted to quit a lot during that period of time. Because it was hot, it was like 120, and I only had an hour's worth of time to put something together. And when I found what I found, it was it, right? That was it. It was my thing. I knew it. And so there are just so many beautiful opportunities for you here to just try something. So my challenge to you here in this room is that I want to have each one of you try one of these out, and then the next time we meet, be able to share what your experience is. Just try it and see if it works, right? If you don't, if you just sit back, if you just think it's a great idea, you're not gonna know. Nobody says that everybody has to do yoga. I don't ever tell everybody, oh, everybody does yoga, they're all gonna be, no, it's not for everybody, right? I wanna do boxing now, you know? I'm gonna show up. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, you just have to just take that step. So please, if you want to do something, take that opportunity. There's a lot of free offers to try it. So we're making it easy for you to just take that step, all right?
Yeah, good point, because just about everywhere you go, they're gonna let you try for free. And just remember to hang in there a little while, make sure that you maybe do like it, because sometimes at the beginning, it's just so weird. You might have to go back a few times and try it, and try a couple different instructors and hear different music, and just give it a little bit of time to see if it'll work. So I'm gonna switch gears because we try to start and end on time. And next month, we're doing Plan B, proper planning prevents disaster. So this is part of Plan B, is staying agile and mobile and have your balance, because what we see in real estate and helping seniors make complex housing decisions and helping them make their moves is that when seniors start staying seated all the time, they just decline really fast, and it's very sad. So we just want to see, while you can, move as much as possible. It's so good for you. But Plan B, so has anybody heard of the movie on Netflix called I Care a Lot? It's really a terrible movie. Okay, then I would encourage you, if you have access to Netflix, or you go online and find it, or have your kids help you on their Netflix account, and at least watch the first 10 to 20 minutes for the pure horror of it, because you will be prepared for this Plan B class. So what happens is, it's a fictional story that came from somewhere, and people plotting so that someone becomes a court-ordered guardian and moves the senior out of their home, takes over their bank accounts, takes over their house, fixes their house up, sells their house, goes through all their stuff. So I'm telling you what we know to be true. If you do not plan your future, someone else is going to plan it for you. It's not good. It's not pretty. And a lot of times it's a neighbor or it's a relative. And we're going to tell you some horror stories because we want to motivate you into action. So that's what we're going to be talking about next month. Please come. It's going to be fascinating. And if you wonder why you procrastinate, maybe we'll say something next month that'll cause you to take some action. And we just encourage you to have conversations with your family and your friends and figure out what your plans are. Because saying, I'm going to live in my home forever until they carry me out feet first. I'm going to live in this home until they carry me out a pine box. We've heard it a million times. And if that's what you want, then good luck, maybe that'll happen. However, a lot of times that doesn't go that way. And you gotta have some plans so that things happen the way you want. Yucky to talk about, but we gotta talk about it, okay? So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Please thank the people for being here. And most of all, our sponsors who make this free. And the free also includes Botanica, and it's nice enough today that you could even go for a walk. You can get food here, you can bring food here, but you can come every month and enjoy the seasons with us and go for a walk in the gardens every month. We chose Botanica because it's centrally located, it's easy to park, it's easy to come in, and we want you to feel at home. This is your garden, Wichita Gardens, it's yours. We want you to feel part of this community, and we certainly want, my husband and I want you to feel part of our community, Empowered Senior, where we equip, educate, and empower seniors, and we help seniors figure out how to stay in their home and help them with complex moves. So thank you very much. And our cameraman is back there. I would love to have you go say something about the program today or anything that you want to say. I would love to